Hello, my name is Izzy Albrecht, and one day I would hope to teach in a middle school classroom. So, the educational theory that I decided to put a little more time into researching was Robert Siegler's overlapping waves theory. This theory interested me because it talked about the cognitive ways that, or the cognitive processing that happens in children's minds. And it was quite fascinating because it said that children learn in different ways and have different strategies to retaining new information. I thought this was very valid. The example it gave in the book was children, when asked the question, what is 2 plus 4? What does that equal? Some would count on their fingers, and some would have just memorized the fact 2 plus 4 equals 6. I found that fascinating, and I found this theory to be very impactful in a math classroom specifically, because there's so many physical ways that math can be applied in, especially geometry, which is, there's high potential someday I will teach geometry, and a teacher being able to provide resources that say, hey, this is the shapes you're working with, and give students that opportunity to interact with those in real life instead of just in their heads. I think that's a really wonderful way for students to learn. But also being able to share with them the formulas and the strategies of how to do the math that goes along with them, because those two things eventually will learn how to, in students' minds, will hopefully overlap, and they'll see the connection that happens with them. And that is basically, I believe, from what I've retained, what Robert Siegler's overlapping waves theory was, that eventually this information that students are gaining will form together in their mind to create one idea. I really hope one day to be able to be in a middle school classroom and to have students that, although it may be difficult at times to address every single way that a student may learn, I hope to be able to produce things that will help, like physical things and verbal things and drawings that will help each different student that I can easily provide to them. Because math can be a very frustrating subject for many people because they can't see the real life impacts, and nobody, especially in middle school, it feels as though there's no real life impact of what math you're learning, even though that is sometimes a very detrimental math to real life. And I will hope to show the real life aspect of what math is, and I hope that helps my relationships with my students, because they will finally understand why they've been learning this and why it will be shaping their brain. And I hope it will get students to interact with each other, because hopefully there will be some kind of group projects where they're like, we're going to figure out why this shape is the way it is. Thank you.